right, so I was talking with my girlfriend the other day, and
I already feel bad for her. Go on.
yeah, so I was talking with her the other day about an aquarium because she likes the aquatic stuff.
Okay.
Because I had saw some little news whatever thing ad something for a local aquarium that has like a mermaid exhibit.
A mermaid exhibit?
Yeah. It's fun for the whole family.
Like people in a mermaid tail swimming?
I mean, sure, for the non-believers.
Oh, okay, go on.
And so I saw that and I was like, oh, I'm thinking of her because she likes the aqua animals.
Uh-huh.
And so like, hey, this one has a mermaid thing. And she's all like, well, actually, they're just people breathing out of air tanks and swimming around. They're not like, I'm sorry to disappoint you, they're not real. And I just sat there for a minute. I was like, you don't know. It could be.
They're not. I'm sorry.
You don't know.
That's actually a job where people just wear mermaid tails and swim around for
It's like, I'm sorry to disappoint you. And I'm just like, oh, my reality has been crushed.
It's like finding out that Santa Claus isn't real.
Yeah. Like that one would ever be true.
Oh, you're in for a treat. Oh, you poor son of a bitch.
So, but off of something like that, it had me thinking a little bit.
I see.
Had me thinking of mythological creatures such as mermaids. And,
I mean, yeah.
And just kind of like,
yeah.
Just where the story comes about, and like what tees off from it, like how do things like that get started? On top of another thing where it was like when I was looking at dinosaurs one day, right?
Yeah.
And I was just thinking to myself, okay, I understand this was real and this happened.
Yes.
But good Lord, you could not sit there and come up with these on your own. Like, a propeller plane sized flying thing, or a bus sized creature with horns.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't sit there and like, just like the idea, like if they weren't physically real, that would be some cool mythological creatures, and it boggles me sometimes that they actually existed.
It's still funny to think that dinosaurs that we think what they look like is not what they look like.
We're trying. I mean, you can only get so much from bone.
Well, no, like, okay, so people think when they think of dinosaurs, they think like Jurassic Park. They look like in Jurassic Park.
Even Jurassic Park got some of it wrong.
They got all of it wrong.
They didn't get all of it wrong.
I mean, they got quite a bit of it wrong. Like, for example,
the biggest ones were the raptors.
Well, did you know that most dinosaurs had feathers?
Not most.
Like T-Rex. For example, the T-Rex had feathers.
No, not the T-Rex, but there are versions within the Tyrannosaurus genome family that did have them.
Well, the point is, there's a shit ton of dinosaurs that were more bird-like and had feathers. And the T-Rex was one of them. And I'm like, that makes sense because the T-Rex
didn't have feathers.
Yeah, let me look that up right now.
Because there's arguing points about that not being true. Like I said, there's other types in the family within the Tyrannosaurus family that do have feathers.
Still, it makes sense because their closest living relative is the chicken.
Oh yeah, I don't argue the fact that they didn't turn into birds. I was just saying that particular dinosaur didn't have feathers like people speculated.
Feathers or scales? That's even weirder. T-Rex is likely covered in scales. That's even weirder.
Well, it's not scales like you think, like on a snake or something.
Well, I'm looking up an article about it. They had him T-Rex feathers, and it's like T-Rex was likely covered in scales, not feathers. And it has a fossil of a T-Rex, and it looks like it shows the skin of a T-Rex from like a fossil, and it has like scales, like a snake scales. I'm like, that's even weirder than feathers.
It wouldn't have something like snake scales because snake scales
that's what it looks like.
Well, no, because snake scales have a particular use. They're used to help regulate its body temperature as well as help its movement. If you look at one up close, the scales are being used as like basically like a claw grabbing at the ground along with its muscles.
Scaly reptile-like skin.
If anything, it would be like the Komodo dragon.
Probably.
It would be more of a hide.
Still, it's weird. I want feathered dinosaurs.
There are.
I know there's a ton of them.
Well, yeah, but like there's one that's basically like it's one of the offshoot cousins of the Tyrannosaur, but it's completely covered in feathers.
I love that.
So I always loved the misconception, especially around the T-Rex, around the original way we thought it stood to now.
Yeah.
To where it was just standing straight up and they thought it just drug its tail around. How
does it stand now?
It stands more horizontally. It uses it's like animals we have today. Along with its giant head, it uses its tail as a counterbalance.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a predator and needs to go forward.
Yeah.
It's not just standing straight up, wandering around like, I wonder what's out here.
It could.
there are any other dinosaurs over here?
I love that.
Like, nah, man. It's sitting right there. It's got that front vision, like any good predator has. That's how you know it's not based as a scavenger.
Yeah. Do you believe dinosaurs are still around today? Because you know
I believe there could be remnants.
Like, for example, there have been sightings or tons of people, I guess, sightings in the Amazon, which would probably be the most likely place to find any if their direct descendants were still around. Would probably be the Amazon.
It would be fun, but it's not a dinosaur. It's just a big animal.
I mean, it'd probably be the closest thing to a dinosaur.
Yes, it'd be our closest thing, but it would not be a dinosaur.
Oh, a lot of descriptions seem very raptor-like to me.
Very raptor-like, huh?
Like there's like raptors running around, or.
Well, don't get me wrong. I watched a lot of those Monster Hunter shows like that. Like I remember I watched this one. It was out in the desert somewhere, and they thought it was like this raptor roaming around. And this family swore that they sat in their car and they saw it walk across the road.
That's terrifying.
But it's in every single one of those situations, there's no one with a decent camera.
No, and then of course you got the Loch Ness monster, which there's a theory that Loch Ness monster is one of those aquatic dinosaurs.
If anything did exist, I would yes, the Amazon is a good section, but I would believe stronger that it would need to be aquatic to still be around.
True. Like there's
just so much more to hide in. We know 2% of our oceans.
Like, for example, there have been still sightings of the megalodon, which is fucking terrifying. There's a fucking megalodon out there somewhere.
Because Jaws is not even a good representation of a megalodon.
Well, Jaws is not a megalodon at all. It's a great white.
Yeah, but it's a big great white because great whites aren't that big.
Yeah, but that's not even close to a megalodon, and it never was said to be a megalodon. A megalodon makes Jaws look like a little pansy.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying it's not a good representation of how big a big shark is.
I don't know.
That's the
Megalodon.
biggest one people can like. That's the biggest one you have in your memory. Is like, okay, big shark, Jaws.
Great white. Yeah.
But Megalodon
Will eat a great white.
whole,
Whole.
Megalodon will fight a whale.
Yeah. A blue whale. And eat it for breakfast.
And we're not even going into the fact that the whole change between like whales moving to land and evolving that way, and then like the idea that some of them went back.
Wait. You're talking about like evolution of whales moving to land?
Yeah. It's just there's when you see a lot of these creatures, you're like, no, there's no way you could have like just imagined this existing, yet it did.
Huh.
It's crazy. It really is.
Speaking of
Because
Megalodon,
they're almost alien.
yeah.
Like, you think there's some weird stuff in the bottom of the ocean just in basic evolution in the last million years. Some weird creepy stuff happened.
I don't know. There's just still a lot of creepy shit in the ocean.
No, there is. I'm not talking about the ocean. I'm talking about just in general.
Oh, well. Evolution. We all came from the sea at one point.
Yep.
Everything came from the ocean.
Everything is stardust.
Yep. We're all pieces of stars that went boom. But that's just terrifying to know
back when
that
things made sense.
Oh, okay, because that made sense. But that's just terrifying to think that a megalodon could still be out there. And most likely,
could be.
There probably is. I would not be surprised if there's a megalodon out there somewhere.
I mean, after all these years, it would probably evolve into not moving as much. So
I don't know about that. It'd be more of like for example, the giant squid. We've never seen, as far as I know,
on the giant squid.
Yeah, that'd probably be the biggest prey. Is that? And
we've seen the giant squid. We have evidence of that.
Well, I mean, they've seen a dead body, but I don't think anyone's ever seen one alive, except for like footage. But like,
yeah, through camera.
Yeah, but not like face to face to put a tracker on it or whatever.
Oh yeah,
I don't know about you. I would not want to because that shit looks terrifying.
You would need to get pretty deep.
Yeah, but they've seen like dead bodies of it.
Oh yeah, we know it's there. It's a thing.
And that was probably the giant squid was probably the basis of the legend of the Kraken. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just the thing. Like, I understand a lot of things get messed up in folklore and just passing it from, mouth to ear to person kind of thing, to where it's like, all right, maybe they saw it and it just spread as a rumor that it would attack ships, or maybe there was actually one that did attack a ship.
It wouldn't surprise me if a giant squid attacked a ship.
It's like,
I mean, that has
to get really high up though from where it's normally located.
Yeah, true. Unless there's a giant octopus somewhere, because that might be another thing that mistakenly was the Kraken. There was an old giant species of octopus.
I mean, could have been.
Which I don't know which is more terrifying, the giant squid or a giant octopus.
Probably giant squid.
Because honestly, a giant squid, I don't know how big they are, but I imagine a human's about the size of an eyeball. That's what I think of.
Giant squid is, I think, its eyeball is about 6 feet in diameter, give or take.
That's fucking terrifying. You just be looking in the deep, and all of a sudden you see an eyeball just staring at you. I would shit myself. I would shit myself.
It's a little spooky.
And then there's other shit down there that's probably even more threatening than a giant squid that we've never even seen.
Yeah.
Because right now, the only known predator we know of for example, the giant squid is a sperm whale. As far as we know. But of course, there's other stuff that's big.
And that's just because we've seen the battle damage.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen sperm whales.
Yeah,
but
it's the point. It's the point of seeing the damage on the sperm whale. That's how you tell. That's how you tell if it's a predator or not, is a lot of it's based on damage does it have. Like that's how they see from again like the dinosaur fossils. They're like, okay, this thing has battle damage all over it. This thing got in fights, which means it fought to eat, because that's more of an option over like fighting for territory or something.
Yeah. What is the name of that signal? There was a so they did like not radio waves, but they got like signals from the ocean, and there was this one weird signal, or
it's from Atlantis, man.
Sonar. They were using sonar, and they found this weird large animal. That was it's one. It was alone, making this weird noise, but they couldn't figure out. All they knew it was big, but they didn't know what it was. And there's a name for it. I can not remember what the hell it was, but it was. All they know is it big. It came out randomly, and to this day they still don't know. What they're pretty sure it's some type of whale, but they don't know. All they know is big. So let me see.
We need to start making our mechs now.
Let's see. And of course, Cthulhu.
Yeah, Cthulhu's always around.
Cthulhu. I mean, what?
Let's all give to our tentacle god.
Well, imagine, what if Cthulhu was real? He would be in the ocean, bottom of the ocean, chilling.
Lovecraft would be laughing it up.
Lovecraft, that bitch, I'm
like,
right.
I told y'all. I told y'all, bitch. No one listened to me.
Mm-hmm. No one gives two shits about little old me.
It's like, oh, I write something and everyone calls me crazy. Yeah, who's crazy now? Oh, all you guys are because Cthulhu took over your minds. Well,
yeah,
awkward.
And of course, Atlantis.
Awkward.
The Bermuda Triangle.
Atlantis could have super been like a real place, and then it totally got like messed over,
flooded. Yeah,
just like New Orleans.
Yeah, they just for whatever reason can never find where the hell it's at.
They just needed to make a big enough wall.
Yeah, I guess.
Make a wall. It'll stop your problems. Remember, if you got those emotional problems deep in, just put a wall up.
Oh my god. What the Why? No.
Just cage it in.
Okay, so Julia, the Julia sound. It was a heard and recorded by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, was a spooky sound heard over a 15-second time period in 1999. According to the experts, the sound was said to be originated in the Pacific Ocean near the equator, and what? From an iceberg being grounded in the Atlantic. What the fuck? Okay. Anyway, I looked up creepy shit from the ocean. That's what I got.
So it came from the ice.
Well, at least that one did. But I know there was an animal that was a sonar.
Like a 1950s headline title.
I guess.
It came from the ice.
Well.
The thrilling conclusion.
Because the creature they said, the bloop sound, caused the biggest animal or creature ever. An enormous underwater creature.
We return
many
to
times
our
larger than the blue whale caused a sound. Well, I'm reading this. It's an enormous underwater creature, many times larger than the blue whale, caused a sound so loud it was heard by scientists 3,000 miles apart. The sound, due to what it sounds like when sped up 16 times, is dubbed the bloop. So that's what I was talking about. They sped it up to where it actually sounds like something, but the original, like,
have they tried playing it backwards?
Why the fuck would you want to play it backwards?
Well, because maybe it's a hidden message. You never know.
But the fact that this thing was caused by a creature larger than the blue whale. is
As long as
terrifying.
as long as it don't have legs, I ain't worrying about it.
That thing you know how big a blue whale is?
I do know how big a blue whale is. It's
That's
the largest.
fucking huge.
It's the largest animal in the world.
Fucking huge. So if it's larger than a blue whale, I don't want to go in the ocean anymore.
Well, I mean, on this planet, there have been like a million things larger than a blue whale.
Animal-wise?
Yeah.
Like what? Not right
Like-
now.
I didn't say right now. I just said in the planet. And like the planet's timeline.
I mean, you got the megalodon. Probably the size of a
Megalodon.
blue whale.
I think it's a little smaller.
I mean,
But
what
like
animal was bigger?
90% of dinosaurs. I mean, there are even land mammals that are reaching that size. There's my argument.
Look it up. I'm gonna look up for that argument, my good sir.
Fine, look it
Okay,
up.
you're right. Okay, you're right. Long necks are about as long as a blue whale.
Yeah, have you never heard of an Argentinosaurus?
I don't believe that. I feel like that's not a thing.
It is a thing. It's a very real thing.
I don't believe that. I don't believe you. Jurassic World. The oceanic monster from Jurassic World was the size of a blue whale. Or bigger than a blue whale.
mosasaur?
The mosasaur, yeah. Apparently
Yeah.
bigger than a blue whale.
Could be.
I want to see a blue whale.
Trying to fight me on my prehistoric knowledge.
I want to see a blue whale. You know?
It's probably super blue.
Okay. You know what? What is the biggest whale?
The blue whale.
I mean, obviously the blue whale didn't pop out of fucking nowhere. It had to have ancestors bigger than that.
Well, it's when a mommy blue whale and a daddy blue whale.
Hey, you know what?
And
Apparently there was a whale.
They hug.
There was a whale called
The bluer whale.
Leviathan?
The Leviathan?
Not Leviathan, but it's like, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's a extinct species of whale who lived during the Messianic period, 12 to 13 million years ago. And it's bigger than the blue whale, and it has teeth. So it's like a killer whale on crack. That's actually a whale and not a dolphin.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, most mammal swimmers are kind of related to the dolphin, like that.
I mean, you do know the killer whale is a dolphin, not a whale, right?
The killer whale?
Yeah, it's not a whale, it's a dolphin.
Oh, it's a super whale. Come on.
No, it's a dolphin.
Next, you're gonna tell me the koala bear is not a bear.
Okay, let's hear fuckwad. You know what? I don't like your sarcasm. Okay, I didn't sign up for that. Okay.
What did you sign up for?
I don't know. I regret my decision joining this channel every day of my life.
Well, good.
And I'm just like, is today the day where I say goodbye? It's coming soon. Just wait.
All right, I'm waiting.
And then it's just gonna be Bard talking to himself. Hi guys.
Not like it's
I'm
any
doing
different from what I normally
everything.
do.
Oh wow. Okay, that's cool. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't appreciate me. That's
I
fine.
talk to myself every day.
Don't appreciate me. That's fine. That's cool.
Sure. I mean, if you want to spin it that way.
Why is there a jumping giant fucking squid? That's not okay.
Because it wants to be free.
Would you shit bricks if you saw a giant squid jumping out of the water just like whee and then splash down to the people below?
Probably be like, huh, that's weird. Good thing I don't go in the water.
That's like, you're just like, interesting.
Huh. All right, cool.
Tidbit. Millions of people died. I'm gonna put that memory right in my noggin and move on.
Like, am I seeing it on the news or am I at the beach?
You're at the beach and you just see humongous giant squid fly in the air at the beach. What would you do?
Like, is it gonna land on the beach?
Like
or
it's
is it still in the water?
flying, like it's flying out of the water, heading your direction. It's gonna land on the water, cause havoc, and then jump right back in the water.
Well, as long as it doesn't mess up my sandcastle, then
You're like,
then I'll
you
be
can
okay.
kill all these motherfuckers, but touch my sandcastle, bitch. We're gonna have a problem.
And then we're gonna have a problem.
Then we're gonna have a problem.
I'm gonna take this tiny plastic shovel
And beat the fuck out of you.
and I will make you regret your life decisions.
Snap. and the giant squid is terrified.
Yeah.
He's
Giant squid's
"Oh,
like,
no."
it's like I ain't dealing with that.
You know what other aquatic creature that we have is not as big as a blue whale, but just as terrifying, even though it's not a meat eater?
What?
The whale shark.
The whale shark?
The whale shark.
It's not a whale though.
It's a shark, but it's called a
Yeah.
whale shark. It's the size of the whale.
And it's not a meat eater,
No.
but it's a shark.
Yes.
What does it eat then?
It eats like algae and shit.
Algae's
some-
alive too. Okay.
I mean, algae and like small fish, but it has like a big mouth that just sucks stuff in.
Small fish, but it's not a meat eater?
I mean, it doesn't
Well, that is
attack.
fake
Okay.
news.
Okay. It doesn't attack big prey.
Don't sit here and lie to me.
It won't like eat people.
Well, yeah, whale shark is one of them gentle giants. Like
Until
a
you see its
manatee.
mouth. Until you see its mouth open, then you kind of.
no, yeah, it's weird. I don't like it.
It's terrible. I'm looking at a picture. I'm like, ooh, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, you see some of them. You see some of them H2O breathers, and you're like,
Oh no.
nah. I don't know what you're evolving from, but I ain't getting near that.
That's not okay. That leads to hell right there.
Like, there's something going on down there in the water.
And the whale sharks are huge. Granted, if I were to get killed by an animal, I'd want to be swallowed whole, because that means I would have a chance of cutting myself out.
But did you get swallowed whole with a knife?
You still have a better chance of living if you get swallowed whole. Like, you're not going to die instantly.
Yeah, but that means, depending on the creature, you're just sitting in its stomach acids now,
That's true.
dissolving
Like I said,
slowly.
I didn't say you were going to.
painfully.
Okay, I said you have a better chance. That means you're going to live. You won't
Like-
die right away.
Like, if it's gonna eat me, just bite my head off. Just one snap, done.
I disagree.
Then there's no more pain. Released to the promised land.
I don't know. If you get your head bit off, you still could be alive for a few seconds. That'll be your own personal hell. But thanks. I'm good.
Well, no. I mean, yeah, like, sure, your head could technically still be alive for a second, but, like...
Because you wouldn't react all instantly dead. You still be like, in shock, what just happened for your last few seconds of life? And I'm sorry. I want my last few seconds of life to be like, oh, there's my body floating away. That's weird.
You wouldn't be able to see because your head would be inside its body already.
That's still... No.
So
that's still gross.
you'd rather... And you instead of that, you'd rather slowly disintegrating.
Yes.
That is way more painful.
I don't know.
That is
Debatable.
a million times more painful.
That's debatable.
You're taking a few seconds of mindless sight and you're comparing it to slowly disappearing.
You know, debatable.
You're not watching your body float away, you're watching it melt around you. You are
See?
becoming a puddle.
I've always said I don't want to die no pussy ass way. I don't want to get my head bit off. I want to die in an epic fashion. And slow bubbling death as I melt is an epic fashion, okay?
Okay. You can go the way you want. Whatever, man. I'm gonna go in my sleep. The only way, like my man Teddy Roosevelt.
Wow. Like your man Teddy Roosevelt.
He's my man. He knew what was up.
Uh-huh.
He did what he did for this country, and we're better off for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Gary ocean shit. That's literally what I'm typing in right now in Google.
So, did you have any
Any what?
specific things you wanted to bring up besides scary ocean things?
There's a fish that glows in the dark on its inside, so you see its brain and shit. That's kind of cool.
It's called bioluminescence.
And then there's a fish with sharp ass teeth that I'm
learnt.
not fucking around with.
Get learnt.
And then there's an anglerfish that I'm just like, bitch, stay away from me.
Yeah. Angler fishes are fun.
They're terrifying. And
They're
then
like,
there's
oh,
this-
look at the pretty. I'm gonna go touch the pretty. Oh no, I'm dead.
And then of course the Leviathan, because that's a thing.
Who doesn't love a Leviathan?
I mean, a Leviathan probably was a real animal. It's probably more like a dinosaur, a prehistoric ocean animal, but
I mean,
probably was a thing.
We haven't seen any direct evidence for what they proclaim is the Leviathan.
Well, Leviathan was a lot of things. Leviathan was a squid. It was kind of like the Kraken. It was the ocean. It was like an ocean.
Yeah, but the main idea
thing.
is for it to be like a giant serpent-esque creature,
A giant ocean snake.
basically.
I'm pretty sure there were giant ocean snakes back in the day.
Not that giant. There's ocean snakes now.
I mean, yes, they're little and deadly. The moccasin.
The electric eel.
The eel's not a snake.
It's an ocean snake.
It's not a snake.
Just like the seal's like the ocean dog. It's a little water pupper.
That's not okay.
It's very okay.
No.
They
Terrible.
are cute and amazing, and sharks are bad for eating them. Bad sharks.
Sharks are just no. And then you got the jellyfish. You got a certain species of jellyfish that's been around on this planet for like millennia. Like a millennia.
I can give it to sharks for being pretty cool. Like, I'll hang out with the great white,
But jellyfish that are basically immortal.
Well, yeah, but they are basically also like a single cell organism.
But they die and basically get brought back to life being a baby, and they grow up again.
And they can
The
make
literal
some
immortal jellyfish. I think that's intense. That's some biology fuckery right there.
Well, it's what happens when you evolve for millions of years and have nothing better to do except defeat death.
Yeah, and then there are jellyfish that have been around since like prehistoric age, and you're just like, bitch, what's your secret?
The stories you could tell.
Oh, I would love to talk to jellyfish and be like, tell me the shadiest shit that these animals be doing.
So you know that guy like Genghis Khan? Yeah.
Yeah, because the jellyfish are totally know about Genghis Khan.
You don't know. Maybe like a bird came by and was chatting it up.
Earth's oceans are filled with massive, hollow, worm-like entities called pyrosome that can grow up to as big as a sperm whale. So giant see-through worms
All right.
are a thing. That's kind of terrifying.
Because you'll never see it coming.
I mean, I'm looking at it. It looks like a plastic bag, but it's a worm, and it's as big as a sperm whale. That's kind of cool and kind of scary at the same time.
Well, it's a good thing we have sharks that'll eat a lot of that stuff for us.
There's got to be
Sharks are our heroes.
There's got to be a creature that a shark's like, I'm not fucking with that. Keep it swimming, bitch. I'm not fucking with that, and they keep swimming. There has to be a creature.
There has to be. No, man. Shark will fight everything off.
Shark can't be the biggest predator.
Shark is like the shark of the ocean.
Now, granted, I mean, killer whales can kill a great white without any issue. So I guess killer whales would be the top predator of the sea.
It's almost not even like a predator half the time. Killer whales are just kind of like big jerks.
They like to fuck with their food first.
They do. They really do.
Especially seals. Horse seals.
Poor little water dogs.
I watched a video of a pack of killer whales playing with a seal and then ripping it to shreds, and I'm just
I can't watch something like
it
that.
It was like, oh, they're playing with him, and then
They're
they
not
started
playing with it.
and I realized real quick, and then they started ripping him to shreds, and I'm like, ew.
It's about tiring it out.
I'm like, oh fuck. Killer whales are a little less cute, a little more terrifying now. Granted,
Disney, you've lied to me again.
Granted, they don't really attack people, but still.
They would if they had the chance.
I mean, as far as I know, there's not a record of a killer whale attacking a person.
Well, sure, because it gets covered up by shark attacks.
Oh, what? I don't think a killer whale would attack a person, though.
You know how many times people get killed by, like, cows or something, and those aren't recorded?
Well, cows are more dangerous than, like, you get people die from cows more than you do sharks.
Yeah, but which one's more reported?
Sharks. It's like, oh, exactly. A predator. When in reality, a person dying from a shark or getting attacked by a shark is very small to not existing.
What is it, like 10 times a year or something?
Barely, yeah, like a handful of times.
What is it? Shark attack record. Hang on. Yearly records.
Because from what I understand, great whites will avoid people at all costs, and it's like most sharks will. But
University of Florida International Shark Attack File reported 81 unprovoked attacks worldwide.
Within a year?
In line with the 5-year average of about 82 incidents annually.
I mean, when you look at the wider world, that's pretty small.
So, I guess, yeah, about a year, 81 attacks.
I mean, that's relatively small, like car accidents and cows.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think I think about the same amount of people die by getting shot. Those gun violence.
Yeah.
Violence yearly records. Let's look at something controversial, huh?
Hell, okay. So sharks is like 81, 82 deaths per year, right? Uh-huh. Coconuts kill 150 people per year.
On an average day, 96 Americans are not killed by guns.
What? What? So people die.
Man, these numbers are skewed. Get out of here.
Anyway, 150 people die from falling coconuts. You know how dumb that? You know how pissed I would be to die from a falling coconut?
You're just floating up there like, you bastard.
I would be so pissed.
Like, no, you send me down again, and if it's my time, you do something cooler.
Like, are coconuts that hard to kill somebody?
Yeah. Coconuts are tough, man.
Jeez.
Dropping from something that's like 20 feet in the air? Yeah. See, the thing with the human body, it's that it's super fragile, yet super resilient.
True.
And it doesn't want to decide which one it wants to be. So it likes to just kind of give in. Yeah. Like, what was it? Like, man. You know, it's like get my hand caught in the door and it hurts for a few minutes. Compared to stubbing my toe and now I can't walk for an hour. Or something. Or, you know, or literally someone falls from a plane and they're okay. Or
I don't think you'd be okay if that
No, there are reports someone will fall from a plane, parachute won't work, and they'll survive and they'll recover, compared to someone who accidentally like falls off a stool and dies.
True.
And it's just like, pick one, guy. Come on. Are you incredible? Are you the weakest creature in there? Because human babies are the worst form of baby.
They're like, don't look at it, don't breathe on it, don't pick it up because you could kill it.
Because, like, most animals, when they're born, are already able to walk, run, survive. Human babies are sitting there like, I don't know what I'm doing. You're going to take care of me for the next 18 years.
My brain's not fully developed. My head could cave in.
Exactly. Human babies are the worst baby confirmed.
But I do agree, because the human bone, for example, is strong and incredible. But then, like you said, the simplest thing could just bust everything.
Yeah.
But you're like, you can get ran over by a car, like your arm can get ran over by a car and it won't break, or be like a little fracture. But then you could fall and hit your head on the concrete and bust your head open, like
done.
And the skull is supposed to be the thickest bone on your body.
It is. Well, a lot of the issue with those isn't that the skull fractured, it's that the brain bounced around too much.
True.
It's all that internal hemorrhaging.
We're nothing more than just brains and meat sacks.
Our brains named themselves.
That's weird. we're diving into mind blown zone of your brain has a name for itself.
This moving goo sack.
You are your brain, and your brain is you. But then, what makes your brain you? What part of your brain is you?
The specific bits of electro shocks that indicate what you choose to remember or not.
Well, memory, yes. Like I think we talked about this before, but like personality, where's that in your brain?
It's to the left.
Where's your personality?
Right.
Where's you?
It's right behind that little section over there in the corner.
Like if you get a brain transplant, are you still the same you? Or are you that brain's you?
No, you're the brain's you.
So if I say someone gets a brain transplant, you need a new brain because the brain's falling apart or whatever.
Like if your brain's failing and you get a new brain inside you, you can still technically be Devin, but you will not be the Devin from before.
Because would you technically
the new person could be Devin based just on social standards and government labeling.
Yeah.
But he would not be you.
That's terrifying. Because like you basically be cutting out the person. Oh, you're dead. Whoop, put in a new brain in a new person. That's just weird. That's just like, damn.
Yeah.
But what if you do that, but yet you're the same person? Like, I don't know. I mean, obviously that's not possible.
If you get a brain transplant and nothing changes of you,
then where's your personality come from?
I would be all like, I don't know. I give up.
Because if it's not your brain, then where is it? Where does it all come from?
Well, it can't be in your pinky toe.
What, I mean, like, is it the heart? Is the heart the root of personality? Like, these are questions.
because people have heart transplants and pieces put on with fake heart parts, like Lego bits or something.
This is true. Science has not explained personality.
So it can't be in there.
You know what else is weird about the brain?
What?
You can think and hear your own self talk in your brain.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Just your inside voice?
Your inner voice. That's weird.
Does your inner voice sound like you?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good start. Because if you said no, we might have to have another conversation. No, actually, it's like this little Japanese girl. I don't really know where it came from.
But like when you really think about your inner voice, you're like, how the fuck do I have an inner voice? How the fuck can I actually? You can't hear it, but you can almost feel it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
because
bizarre.
you're thinking it.
Thinking and daydreaming is also weird too, because you can see things, you can see images and shit you're imagining.
Yeah.
But it's like, but it's not there.
Well, yeah,
Yet
of course
you
it's not
can
there.
I know that, but you can still see it. It's just the brain is such an interesting thing that we know nothing about, pretty much.
We'll never know. You're not supposed to.
But I would love to, though.
Well, sure, but you're not supposed to.
I guess. But you know what's even a better question?
What's an even better question?
Deaf people. Since most deaf people have never heard their own voice, when they think to themselves, do they think in sign, or
are they allowed to think to themselves?
Well, no. You know what I mean, because
I know what you mean.
When we think to ourselves, we have that inner voice. If a deaf person's ever heard their own voice, or ever heard voices to begin with, what is their inner thoughts directed by? And I actually asked my deaf professor this. He's like, I never thought of that. That's weird.
Was he deaf from birth?
Yes.
So he never thought about what his inner voice sounded like?
Yeah, because I asked him, because I wrote a paper about it, and it was one of the few things that really boggled my mind.
Couldn't he answer that question?
He didn't. He didn't know how to. He's just like, I don't know. That's literally his comments. He wrote comments in reply. He's like, I don't know how to answer that. Like, it boggled his mind.
You caused your professor to have an existential crisis just so you could get a good grade.
Oh, I got an A on that paper, but he was literally stumped. And I asked him about it after I got my paper, and he's like, I don't know how.
Well,
that's a good question.
What does he do?
I don't know. He never explained. He was flabbergasted.
Does he have hearing aids, or was he fully deaf?
He's fully deaf. He has no hearing aids or anything.
Okay, so
deaf.
Does it sound like a thing, or is it just is he imagining hand motions? Like, you can at least narrow it down.
Honestly,
right?
if I were to guess, it'd probably be sign. It'd probably be whatever the sign language that they use. That would be their inner voice.
So he has to be daydreaming sign language.
I'm assuming that's the only explanation I got. That's literally the only thing I got that I can think of that would make the most sense.
If you had the ability to change it out, like Siri or like a GPS thing, where you could put in a different voice or something, would you take that option?
No, because that'd freak me out.
If it was like fully customizable.
That, first off, the fact that they have technology that could do that is really creepy.
I'm not saying they do. I'm saying if you could.
I mean, I know if I could. I mean, you can think of changing my inner voice to some random dude, some random Australian dude, and you think of an Australian accent, but permanently, I don't know. I don't think I would, because that'd just be weird.
What if it was like toggleable?
I guess.
Where it's not just like you making fun of an accent, where it's like you can be like, click, and then it's just that. Yeah.
I don't know. That'd trip me the fuck out. You know what's also?
I would want like that conscious voice. Like I would dive into it to be like basically like a buddy wherever I go.
So I have two more things to go about the human body. I'm going to talk about the first one.
But hang on, I want to talk about that my new buddy that's going around with me.
What the fuck? What new buddy?
I don't want to say like an AI implant or something like that, but I guess that would be the only way it would have to be.
Oh, true. It would have to be.
So instead of just you thinking to yourself, it could be like another entity, like another smart entity talking back to you.
No, I wouldn't. No, I'm not fucking around with that. No. No bueno.
I'm
like, not okay with that.
What should I eat today? And then it's like talking back to you. And you're like, that's a good idea.
No, absolutely not. I am not okay with that.
I'd be like, oh man, here we go today.
That's a step into that's a slippery slope into a weird sci-fi universe where technology controls everything. No thanks.
No,
I'm not about that world.
I'd be down. I think it'd be awesome.
You would, but it'd freak me the fuck out. Now, something I learned about the other day. So there was a YouTuber that did a series of videos on being blind.
All right.
So I got a question to ask you.
Okay.
When a person goes blind, so like you're born seeing stuff.
Yep. I saw stuff.
Blind. Okay. You go blind in your teens.
Yep.
Do you remember would you be able to still remember what everything looks like? Memory of sight.
I mean, that would just be connected to how well you can remember things in general. Because I could just be sitting here as I am now and close my eyes and not be able to remember anything, but that's just because I can't remember it.
Oh no. Apparently, because they had an interview with a blind girl of this YouTuber, and they're asking her questions like, what's some misconceptions or whatever? And one, apparently, when a person that had vision and then lost it, you lose all of it. Like, you lose your memory of sight. Like, you don't remember what people look like. You kind of just lose that. Because once your eyes go, your brain readjusts and you don't remember what stuff looks like or what people look like or what yourself looks like. You'll lose all of it.
I would argue against that. I just think it's memory. You don't have the constant regain of it, so you forget. It's like if you lose a loved one. You're not looking at them all the time, so you start forgetting what they look like.
You might have to argue with her on that.
I would argue that point. I don't think it's your brain just dumping the information.
Because that would make sense. Your brain would just readjust to be like, okay, you're blind. Get rid of all this extra stuff and bring in new things to rework your brain.
Well, so, I can agree with it where it's like if you go blind and your hearing becomes better, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's selective focusing on it, though. I mean, that's taking the energy you're taking from one sense and putting it into another. It's not like it's gaining more power. It's just that's what you're focusing harder on.
I'm just saying that is what the interview entailed, and I'm like, that's interesting. So you just forget memory visually, and your brain more remembers on sounds and smells and stuff, and vision just goes right out the door.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna argue against that. I'm gonna say it's just you're focusing on the new things, and that's what you attribute to, and so what you have with sight is more forgotten. It's not discarded. It's not just deleted. You're forgetting it because you're not continually adding to it to keep it in your memory. So it's more like pushed to the back room.
It's still interesting. I just that's cool.
You want a challenge like that? Try explaining a color to a blind person.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, you really can't.
Yeah, this is a red rose. What does it look like? Well, it's
red. Well, red. What's red?
Darker orange.
Then what's orange?
Lighter red.
But then what's red though? Here's
think of red, and then that.
I know, it's so weird. Or describe how you sound your voice to a deaf person that's never heard it in their life.
I mean, you are unless you're in unless you live your life listening back to your own audio recording, you don't even know what you actually sound like.
True.
Boom.
Because my voice is I think of it as a lot higher, but listen to my recordings and stuff, my voice is deeper than I think. If that makes sense.
My voice is so delicious. Ooh.
You can't see my face right now, but it's disgusted.
Ooh.
Blech.
Ooh.
What the fuck?
Oh.
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 Yeah. Oh, fancy. Oh. Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me today to talk about sharks and deaf people.
Sharks and deaf people. That's literally our conversation. It went from sharks to prehistoric shit to the human body to the brain, and then deaf people and blind people.
There are definitely better conversations we've had before we started recording, but
honestly, not really. This is probably one of my favorite podcasts.
High School Avengers was way better.
I mean, true. I kind of wish we were recording High School Avengers. I would love to see a gothic cheerleader death and skeleton with like dead hair and a dead blonde ponytail. I would love that.
Like
with her
Thanos.
just chewing gum.
That Thanos. Why don't you beat someone up for me?
I love that too much. That's gonna be a rare recurring.
Gosh, Death! I already beat someone up for you. Jeez.
Oh my god, yeah.
Well, it's like you did that yesterday. Why don't you do it again or something?
That pop makes me lose my goddamn shit every fucking time.
So it's a lot of practice that went into popping.
I swear, if that's ever becomes animation, you have to voice Death. 100%. You have to voice Death. 110%. No exceptions. No.
Oh my god, actors. Thanos. Why don't you do something? Go get those power stones you keep complaining about.
Mirror the universe for me.
Why don't you do you even like me?
Because I'm not feeling loved.
I'm not really feeling it. The Grandmaster, he's been talking to me a lot.
Which Grandmaster are we talking about? Because there's a new one now.
All of them.
All of them, like the both of them.
Yep. That's not one to settle down.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's just so good. This is one of the better podcasts.
I think we've had some good ones.
I mean, no, I'm not saying all of them have been bad, but this is one of the best ones.
We've had some.
One of my personal favorites. It's one of my personal favorites.
What was your favorite part?
Everything. Because I'm in it.
Oh yes. Oh. I think the best part was me. Wow. If you think I was the better part, let us know in the comments. If you think
I was the better part,
and if you want to lie about him being the better part,
oh fuck. Damn!
Let us know in the comments.
The shade that's been casted upon me. I am the senior.
So now, even if they say you're the better part, you won't know if they were lying or not.
Hey, I'm older. I'm wiser. Okay, I'm cooler.
Age after beauty.
Beauty?
Yeah.
You look like a toe.
You don't even know.
I love that so much. You don't understand how much I love that, people. It's just so fucking funny. I could be doing, and all of a sudden I see that, and I'd just be dead on the floor. And just see that, oh my god.
Oh my god, Thanos, why don't you kill somebody? I don't know. What do you think I'm trying to do? Gosh.
We're doing something with at least Death. She's gonna be a recurring joke or something. It's gonna be a thing. Maybe not right now. Maybe not next week. But at some point, she's gonna be a recurring joke. I swear.
Or the next day.
I'm making notes.
Or the next day.
Okay, you know what?
Or the next day.
You know what? I'm a busy ginger.
Or the next day.
You know what?
Or the next day.
I'm out.
So yes, thank you. EIS Cast 16.
16? 16!
16. So send us your messages at iceletters@gmail.com.
No one's going to.
Yes, they will. They will, because it's normal.
You best let me know if they ever do and make a whole big deal about it next episode.
Oh, I'm gonna make a huge deal if someone ever does. Don't you worry.
I don't think they're going to, but
They will.
you know.
If you want to prove him wrong, send it to iceletters@gmail.com. So thank you, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.